So World of T-Shirts has still not been in New York City. He announced that he is putting his tours on a hiatus because I'm not 100% sure. He said somebody poured flour on him, and then like somebody else said he got tarred and feathered, and I was like, well, that's a really weird way to handle anything. I'm pretty sure like flour was what actually happened. But there's no video of this, so I don't think that actually happened. I think it's just he probably got banned from a number of bars. Like if you remember, he got banned from McSorley's over a year ago now. And then he had the situation where he claimed he broke his leg in a fryby at the gym, which, like, none of those words are in the Bible. But it's very interesting to see what's happening with Josh, because Tony said that if he can go a week without drinking, he can go to Italy, which is interesting. So does that mean Tony has Josh's passport? What's going on? Is Tony the one paying for the trips? Because I thought Josh made $400,000 a year.
Chippendales dance?
Or the location.
But that's the draft.
Who said that? That's so mean. That's so mean. Don't ever say those words again. You got it? Put the fries in the bag. Don't ever say that again. They know where we are. I will never set foot into this establishment again.
They're doing adjustment on the pizza.
If that word comes out again, I'm never coming back if it happens again. They're the ones making pizza. I make way more than they do.
Zach,
So we gotta go now.
Get your back set up. Put the hot sauce. Throw it in there.
If I come back here in the future and they do that again, I'm not coming here anymore.
I understand, Josh.
I will literally, if they don't, if they say that again, I will call corporate and get them fired.
Well, there's a lot of these.
I'll call corporate. Better yet, I'll report them and get this location shut down. You know, I'm famous. I have the power to shut a business down. Especially a small one.
Hey, imitation's the best form of flattery, Josh.
The next time I come here, I better not fucking hear that again from any of their workers. Or else I'll shut the place down. Condemned.
So Josh got told by somebody working at a pizza place, which probably has French fries at it, because a lot of pizza places do these days, to put the fries in the bag, while the guy was actually making pizza. And Josh was live streaming at the time. I don't know if that is or isn't allowed with the policies that the company has, but it sounds like it's not, because the company was just like, why are we recording? Which is great, because Tony doesn't tell him to stop, Josh doesn't stop, they don't just leave. Josh goes on a rant about how he makes more money than them, which is very, very interesting to me, because like 3 days ago, Josh was talking about how janitors make more than $400,000 a year, and he doesn't make any money. I don't know anywhere where a janitor makes $400,000 a year. Now, if a janitor were making $400,000 a year, I would probably assume that inflation got out of control and like quadrillionaires were what we were complaining about and not billionaires. Because, yeah, I would assume that that was what happened. But Josh here is also threatening to get the business shut down and just being incredibly rude to these employees here. And saying that he's going to call corporate. He also at one point claimed that it was a hate crime. It's not a hate crime to put somebody to tell somebody to put the fries in the bag. It's rude, yeah, but it's not a hate crime. It's not even a crime. It's just socially unacceptable, and Josh seems to understand that and understand that people are looking down on him when they say this, which makes sense because he was looking down on people when he told that worker at the McDonald's to put the fries in the bag. So there's a lot going on in this video, a lot going on with Josh, but he really needs to learn to just not react because people tell him to put the fries in the bag because he reacts to it. And if he just stopped reacting, he'd probably end up with way less content, way less people doing anything involving him, and he'd make less money.
Put the fries in the bag. Yo, put the fries in the bag. You're unemployed.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm
You're
not.
unemployed. You're unemployed.
Ow! Ow!
Now, the person here chasing Josh through the gym and being like, "You're unemployed, put the fries in the bag," blah, 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 all that, totally inappropriate, and yeah, probably should have been removed from the facility by employees. But Josh also shouldn't have started running through it. He should have just gone to an employee and said, "Hey, this person's," But Josh claimed that he broke his leg and he couldn't afford medical care. And he wanted his single-payer health care, which is interesting because Josh will often say, if you come here illegally, you should get deported, and spout many of the Republican talking points versus the Democrat talking points, or far-left talking points. Which, I agree with him on the whole universal health care thing, but I don't think that $400K a year means you can't afford a medical bill, especially because he did not break his leg. He got a laceration on it, which is a cut. And he screamed that he broke his leg. Now, I don't know why he did that. Maybe it was because he'd been taught that over-exaggerating gets you more attention, because that would be something that I would see him having been taught based on the experiences of him over-exaggerating when he gets, fry-eyed, that the more he reacts, he gets more attention. But he did not break his leg. And it's actually quite astonishing that he posted a post on his main account that he broke his leg and it was too graphic to show, but then he posted it on Instagram and it was just a cut and it was like nothing. Now, should Josh be filming at the gym? That's a whole other situation where I think that filming at the gym and live streaming at the gym is something that we really shouldn't be doing because there are other people there. So it's you don't live stream when you go to a convention normally, do you? But you sometimes do, you sometimes don't. And it's one of those things where that's a whole other situation. But running up to somebody at the gym where there's all these heavy weights and big machines and telling them to put the fries in the bag and knowing they're going to crash out is dangerous and shouldn't have been done. Josh also shouldn't have reacted the way he did, but we kind of knew he was going to do that because that's how he always reacts. Josh will often say, "I want to go home to Italy." Tony said if he goes a week without drinking, he can go to Italy. He has not gone a week without drinking. In fact, his last drinking post was approximately 13 hours ago as of recording of this. So that's not 13 hours, or 13 hours ago is not 168. Though Tony did say that he's been drinking less, which I don't know how that's going to work because Tony is not a medical professional and you cannot cold turkey alcohol. It can kill you. Without medical attention. You have to go into the hospital. This is one of the few times where medical detox isn't a scam. It's literally a thing you have to do, where you have to go in, you have to get certain amounts of alcohol into you, certain amounts of other drugs and medications and vitamins and hydration, so that you don't go through things. And they have to monitor your vital signs so that if something happens, they can respond quickly. And all of that. Tony is not a doctor. Tony is a social media content creator who appears to be trying to help Josh for money. I don't know. I really don't know how Josh went from Michael Quinn to Mayor Flanagan to Jason Itzler, Mr. Based, to Jack Doherty to Tony. That's 6 handlers in the last 3 years. And I feel like when Josh was on his own back in 2020, 2021, before the Cancun trip, Josh just wandered around New York City, did coffee and boba reviews, did stuff about New York City. And wandering around New York City is not necessarily the worst thing, especially, he just finished high school, the economy was real bad, he was a content creator. That's not a bad thing. But now he just wanders aimlessly and threatens to shoot people and sue them.